I got my screen spread out too much.
Get it.
There you are.
You're set to go.
All right, we can begin. All right, I'd like to call to order the Long Beach City College Personnel Commission meeting for, I can't believe.
Recording in progress.
The meeting for February 28th, 2022. Call to order. Janine, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? My flag
Of course.
Yeah.
Could we have everyone please rise and put your right hand over your heart? And repeat after me. I pledge allegiance
to the
to the
flag
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Roll call. Janine?
I am present.
Robin?
Here, present.
F is present as well. So we're all here. Public comments on agenda items. Are there any? Have we received any requests for comments on our agenda item?
No, Jeff, we have no public comments tonight.
Thank you. Then we'll move forward. This is the approval of the minutes. Could I entertain a motion to approve? If there's no changes, corrections to it, I'll entertain the motion to approve the minutes of the meeting.
So moved.
And I second.
Motion and a second. No questions, comments. All those in, I just say all those in favor, please say aye. But since we're Janine,
Aye.
Robin,
Aye.
F is an aye. Those minutes are approved. We're now into new business, so we'll go through these. Approve eligibility list for administrative assistant. First, entertain a motion to approve the list.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Robin, second by Janine. Staff on this item, please.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. So we're asking for approval to approval for the eligibility list for administrative assistant, scholarship assistant. The minimum qualifications for this recruitment was a high school degree or GED plus 4 years of experience. We received 69 applications, 21 tested, 9 were placed on the eligibility list, and we have 5 internal applicants.
Very good. Thanks, Cynthia. Questions, comments from the personnel commissioners, please, at this time. Hearing none, roll call vote on this. Janine?
Aye.
Robin?
Aye.
Jeff is an aye. A passes. B, approval eligibility list. This is for the application development analyst 4. Can I entertain a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
I'll
Motion by
second.
Robin, second by Janine. Staff report, please.
Sure. We're asking for approval of the eligibility list for application development analyst 4. This recruitment, the minimum qualifications is a bachelor's in a related field plus 3 years of experience. 15 applications were received, 7 passed SME subject matter expert review, 2 were placed on the eligibility list, and we had 0 internal applicants.
Questions, comments from the personnel commissioners? Hearing none. A roll call for item B. Janine?
Aye.
Robin?
Aye.
Jeff is aye. B passes. C, approval eligibility list, child care assistant. Entertain a motion to approve, please.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Second by Janine. Staff report.
Sure. We are asking for approval for the eligibility list of child care assistant. The minimum qualifications for this job posting was educational course requirements plus 6 credits in child development or early childhood education courses. There were 16 applications that were received. 10 passed the subject matter expert review and 10 were placed on the eligibility list with 0 internal applicants.
Thank you. Questions, comments from personnel commissioners? Hearing none. Roll call. Robin?
Aye.
I just thought I'd break it up a little bit, Robin. Very good. Janine?
Aye.
And Jeff is still last. I'm an aye. C passes. D, approve eligibility list. This is for the enrollment services supervisor. Entertain a motion to approve, please.
I'll make the motion.
I'll
Motion by
second.
Robin, second by Janine. Staff report, please.
And I just want to make a correction. So the actual title, it's supervisor, enrollment services. So supervisor was right before enrollment services.
Okay,
Oh, the motion will reflect that change. Thank you.
Yeah. So the minimum qualifications, we're asking for approval for the eligibility list of supervisor of enrollment services. And the minimum qualifications for this job were a bachelor's degree in the related field plus 5 years of experience. 26 applications were received, 6 passed subject matter expert review, 5 were placed on the eligibility list, and there was 1 internal applicant.
Thank you. Comments, questions, members of the Personnel Commission? Hearing none.
I have
roll
a
call.
question.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I have
Robin?
a question.
Go ahead.
That one internal applicant, is that one of the eligible?
Yes, the one internal applicant was the one that was placed on the eligibility list.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions, comments at this time? Hearing none, roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin?
Aye.
That is aye. D passes. E, approve eligibility list, EOPS, Senior Office Assistant. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Motion
I'll
by
second.
Robin. Staff report, please.
Sure. So we're asking for approval for the eligibility list of EOP&S Senior Office Assistant. The minimum qualifications for this recruitment were a high school or GED plus 2 years of experience. There were 47 applications that were received. 25 passed the subject matter expert review, 8 were placed on the eligibility list, and there were 3 internal applicants.
Very good. Questions, comments, personnel commissioners? Hearing none, roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin?
Aye.
F is an aye. E passes. F, approve eligibility list, financial aid advisor. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
I'll
Motion
second.
by Robin, second by Janine. Staff report, please.
Thank you. We're asking for approval of the eligibility list for financial aid advisor. And the minimum qualifications for this job was 2 years of college level courses in a related field, plus 3 years of financial aid experience. There were a total of 82 applications received, 30 passed subject matter expert review, 6 were placed on the eligibility list, and 4 are internal applicants.
Thank you. Question, comments, personnel commissioners? Hearing none, roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin?
Aye.
Jeff is aye. F passes. G, approve advanced salary placement. Now we're into a different area. Advanced approval of advanced salary placement. This is for the athletic field maintenance worker. Could I entertain a motion to approve, please?
I'll make the motion.
Robin,
second.
and second by Janine. Staff report, please.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So we're asking for approval for advanced salary placement for the athletic field maintenance worker for candidate Michael Montoya. The minimum qualifications for this recruitment or this job called for a high school degree or GED plus 3 years of ground maintenance experience plus 1 year athletic field experience. The candidate had a high school diploma plus 7 years of athletic field experience.
Thank you. Questions, comments, personnel commissioners?
Was this an internal candidate?
You know, I don't have that information right
Okay,
now.
I was just curious.
Other questions, comments at this time? Hearing none, roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin?
Aye.
And I also vote aye. G passes. H, approve advanced salary placement. This is for administrative assistant. Could I entertain a motion to approve, please?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Robin, second by Janine. Staff report, please.
Thank you. We are asking for the approval of advanced salary placement for the administrative assistant for candidate Stephanie Persico. The minimum qualification for this job called for a high school or GED degree plus 4 years of experience. This particular candidate had a bachelor's degree, 18 years of experience, and 10 of those years were in higher education.
Very good. Thank you. Questions, comments from personnel commissioners at this time?
Yeah, Mom.
Is that you, Robin, or somebody asking for dinner?
Somebody asking for dinner.
Any other questions, comments from the personnel commissioners at this time? Hearing none. Roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin?
Robin off the dinner train. Aye.
is an aye also. Yeah, H passes. I approve the working out of class assignment for human resources manager. What's this person's name? How are you going to do this report? Yes. We'll entertain a motion to approve. Members of the Personnel Commission.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Robin, second by Janine. Staff report, please.
Sure.
Some might seem a little biased.
Yeah.
I'll give my staff report and I'll let our VP Olson chime in if there's additional information that she'd like to provide. So
Go
we're
ahead.
asking for approval for those working out of class assignment for Cynthia Nunez who's a current human resource manager to work in the position of it's partial duty of the executive director of classified human resources. And we're asking for approval for the start date would be January 1st of 2022 with the end date of April 30th, 2022. And the reason being that the current incumbent is on leave. And we have VP Kristen Olson here, if you'd like to add a little bit more about this working out of class.
Kristen, would you like to add anything? Would you like to tell us about Cynthia?
Thank you so much. Really, really good report. I think Cynthia really captured it. This was kind of to step in and hold over the situation where our interim executive director needed to, step away for a minute. So we wanted to make sure that we had the leave covered. And also to let the commissioners know we do have our guest here that has joined the meeting. And later in the meeting, we'll be able to participate in some introductions and discussion with the commissioners.
Very good. Questions or comments from fellow commissioners at this time? I would say on behalf of the fellow commissioners, Cynthia, thanks so much for stepping up and doing this. It's like being thrown in the deep end of a pool and saying, "Can you swim?" But
You're welcome.
yeah, I know it's not easy.
No,
But
it's
questions,
a pleasure.
comments?
Mhm.
Questions, comments, commissioners on this item? Hearing none, I'll roll call. Janine,
Resounding aye.
Robin,
Aye.
and I am also an aye. Absolutely. Aye passes. Thank you. Moving on to J, approve the extension of working out of class assignment, Deputy Director of Facilities, Rental and Grounds. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Staff report, please, on this one for Christopher Baker. Staff report,
I
please.
can't hear you.
Staff report on Christopher Baker, please.
Sure, thank you. So we're asking for approval for the extension of this working out of class for in the position of Deputy Director of Facilities, Rentals and Ground. The employee is for Christopher Baker, who's currently a grounds and transportation supervisor. The out of class classification is for Deputy Director of Facilities, Grounds and Rentals. The extension start date would be January 2nd, 2022, with the current extension requested through June 30th of 2022. And the reason for this working out of class is for backfilling for vacancy. And we do have Dr. Maria Williams Slaughter here invited to speak if there's anything additional that you'd like to add for this working out of class.
Anything additional comment from staff at this time?
I've probably asked this question before, but which vacancy are we backfilling for? And are we working on the vacancy?
We're backfilling for the vacancy of Deputy Director of Facilities, Grounds and Rental. And I believe that our staff here in the office has initiated conversation with Dr. Williams Slaughter so that we can start this recruitment. So we are working on starting the recruitment for this position soon.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Is there any other questions, comments from staff? I know you say someone else was sitting in on our Zoom meeting. Cynthia?
Dr. Slaughter is with us.
Oh, it's Dr. Slaughter. I'm looking. Any other additional comments need to be made at this time?
No, Cynthia covered it all. Thank you.
You are? Very good. All right. Thank you. Other comments, questions from the fellow commissioners at this time? Hearing none, roll call. Janine?
Aye.
Robin?
Aye.
Jeff is an aye. Jay passes. Okay. Approve the extension of working out of class assignment. This is the Director for Workforce Development. I entertain a motion to approve, please.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by
I'll
Robin.
second.
Staff report, please.
Sure, thank you. We're asking for approval for the extension for the working out of class for Melissa Infusino to work as a Director of Workforce Development. The current out of classification we're asking is a position Director of working out of class. as a Director of Workforce Development. She'll be assuming additional duties, and the request is for a start date of February 21st of 2022 through May 31st of 2022. And the reason for this working out of class request is for out of class duties for pending class and comp study implementation.
Very good. Thank you. Questions, comments, members of the commission? Hearing none. Roll call. Janine.
Aye.
Robin.
Aye.
Jeff is an aye. That item passes. This is item L, approve the extension of working out of class assignment. This is for facilities maintenance supervisor. Entertain a motion to approve, please.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Robin, second by Janine. Staff report, please.
So we're asking for the approval of the extension of working out of class for employee Juan Herrera, who's working out of class in the classification of facilities maintenance supervisor. His current classification is carpenter, and the date of the extension start date would be February 28th, 2022 through May 31st of 2022. And the reason is for this employee's backfilling because the current incumbent is serving as the facilities of maintenance manager, facilities and maintenance. And we have Dr. Maria Williams Slaughter here again, if you'd like to add a little bit more about this working out of class.
Dr. Slaughter, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Nothing else. Cynthia's got it covered. Thanks.
Thank you. Questions, comments from fellow commissioners at this time? Hearing none. Roll call. Janine.
Aye.
Robin.
Aye.
Jeff is aye. L passes. Item M. This is approve the extension of working out of class assignments. This is for irrigation and grounds maintenance technician, Nestor Ramirez. May I please entertain a motion to approve, please?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Staff report, please.
Sure, thank you. We're asking for the approval of the extension of the working out of class assignment for employee Nestor Ramirez, whose current classification is ground maintenance worker, and we're asking for approval for him to work out of class as the irrigation and grounds maintenance technician. The extension start date would be January 31st of 2022 through May 12th of 2022. And the reason for this working out of class is for her funding placement. And Dr. Maria Slaughter, do you have anything else you'd like to add for this one? Oh, I'm sorry, we're here. She's here. If there's any other questions that she can answer, if there's anything else you would like to add.
Any additional comments?
No additional.
Perfect. Commissioners, any questions, comments at this time on item M? Hearing none, roll call. Janine.
Aye.
Robin.
Aye.
Jeff is aye. M passes. Item N, approve the extension of working out of class assignments is for lead custodian. Entertain a motion to approve, please.
I'll make the motion.
Motion
And
by
I'll
Robin,
second.
second by Janine. Staff report, please.
Sure, thank you. So we're asking for approval for this extension of working out of class for employee Isaac Ruelas to work. His current classification is a custodian, and we're asking for approval to work as a lead custodian. The extension start date would be January 31st, 2022, and the extension end date would be May 12th of 2022. And this is another working out of class assignment paid out of her funding. And again, Dr. Maria Slaughter is also here on the event that there's any additional information that she would like to add.
Dr. Slaughter? Any additional?
Just an FYI that Mr. Ruelas, is working the swing shift. So he's here from 2 p.m. to 10:30 p.m.
Good. Questions, comments, personnel commissioners? Hearing none, roll call. Janine.
Aye.
Robin.
Aye.
Jeff is aye and passes. Oh, approve the extension of working out of class assignment as a supervisor, financial aid advisor. I entertain a motion to approve, please.
I'll make the motion.
And I'll second.
Second by Janine. Staff report.
Sure, thank you. We're asking for the extension of this working out of class assignment for employee Susana Duran, whose current classification is a financial aid advisor, and we're asking for approval for her to work out of class as a supervisor of enrollment services. And the extension start date would be February 28th through 2022 through September 2nd of 2022. And the reason is this employee is assuming duties due to the incumbent becoming director of financial aid. And I do want to mention that the eligibility list for the supervisor of enrollment services is being approved on this agenda tonight. So we are hoping to be able to fill this position soon. So that end date may be a lot sooner than September. And we have also here Ms. Yvonne Gutierrez Sandoval in the event that there's anything else that she'd like to add for this working out of class.
Any additional we need to be added at this time?
Just thank you for the consideration. We imagine it's going to be very short. We just need to wrap up the recruitment on this, and we're already at the approval of the eligibility list. And then once that's done, then the working out of class assignment will end.
Very good. Well, I'm assuming you're saying short, you're not talking about the official status, you're talking about the timeline.
The timeline, correct.
Very good. Commissioners, any other comments, questions at this time on item 12?
I think that we've got, if I'm not mistaken, that's against the rules and regulations to go that long. I thought it was 90 days.
What?
For the end date. Am I wrong on that, Robert?
I do not know.
I believe we could go, if I'm not mistaken, we can go beyond the 90 days. I think the Personnel Commission rules, if I'm not mistaken, and VP Olson can add more information if needed, does say that we have to put them forward if any assignment extends beyond the 90 days. But we couldn't find anywhere where it said that it can be longer than 90 days.
Past practice has been 90 days. And so I'm just a little worried about possibly setting a precedent here. Robert, can you think of any instances when we haven't done it?
Not haven't, but at the same time, I saw the date difference from all the rest. So I don't understand the difference, especially since you're filling this one.
Right.
I mean, it's already in the queue. We approved, or the Personnel Commission approved the list for hiring. So I don't understand the need for the length of time. I mean, I like a typical example of tonight's menu is you've got a supervisor working at a ground in maintenance, and he's doing a great job, but you're renewing him every 90 days. And it's more than likely he'll be there for 6 months at the very least. So why? You got a job that's already got a recruitment list, one that can't have one, and then they're opposite on the time. So somebody should be checking why. I just don't understand in this case. It's not necessary.
Let me ask the first question.
You could make a point for the other one, but not this one.
So is there a reason why we put 90 days? Is there something in the regulations that's why it lists 90 days? I don't know the answer to it. So that's why I'm asking. If in past practices, as Janine mentioned, so what is it? Can anyone share with us or what they know, if anyone does know?
I believe that it was so that things weren't drug on indefinitely, which
yeah, but I mean, the 90 days though, is that set in a regulatory language, or is it just something we come up with as sort of a common practice?
I thought it was in rules and regs.
Okay, that makes more sense with the rules and regs. So, what happens if it goes beyond? Will we be contacted, or will it be agendized if it suddenly is going beyond? I'm hearing that it'll be very quick. So the uncertainty of why we have 90 days, but if it goes quicker, that's great. Wonder if it goes longer. Do we just re-agendize this item? Is that what happens to notify people that we're still?
That's correct. Normally we would bring it back if it does go beyond the end date.
So why do we have this one longer?
Kristen, is there anything else you'd like to add? I know we talked about this briefly, and we did look at the, not specific to this situation, but we did look into the 90 days. And we found that it was the minimum, that if anything exceeded over 90 days, we did have to bring it forward to PC. I'm not sure about past practice, if this is something that's been a past practice and we just always do in 90-day increments. Do you have anything else to add, Kristen, or is there any other feedback you can provide on past practice?
No, I think you captured it pretty well. Pursuant to the PC rules and regs here, a position that is requested for an out-of-class assignment does need to come back to the commission every 90 days, but it doesn't preclude the original request from having, an extended day farther out. However, we would have to, within that time frame, we would have to come back for at intervals of 90 days for renewal. So probably what is the case here is the original request had that date of 9/2/22 on it. Of course, it's not going to last that long because the recruitment is almost completed. But I would make the guess that it was placed on the paperwork in the abundance of precaution in case there was some need to extend it. But as discussed, this won't be the case in this particular instance. But it would still have to come back in 90 days if something happened and there was some sort of extension that was needed. It is required to come back to the commission in 90-day intervals.
So I'm going to apologize because I lost my audio for a fair amount when you were talking, Kristen. But why are we going all the way until 9/2 for this?
It's my guess that this was, without looking at the paperwork, that this was probably the date placed on the paperwork. However, it's not going to be the date that this out of class assignment goes to because it's almost concluded, since the recruitment is almost concluded. So this assignment is almost over.
And if I can add, my administrative assistant, when she goes through and prepares paperwork for working at a class, she always does it as a best practice to just do the 90 days. That way we always have it on a tickler file to know when the end date is coming. So we know when to bring it back to the Personnel Commission so it doesn't fall off our radar.
I'm just going to say I'm not comfortable with this. It is not been our past practice. And the reason that we have the 90 days or have used it in the past is so that people aren't left in positions for indefinite periods of time. I'm not comfortable with this at all. So I'm just going to put that out there. I'm sorry.
I'm okay shortening the time period. Like I said, the 90 days is kind of the default number we tend to work with on the working out of class, but this one we're almost wrapped up. We just don't want to leave the position vacant right now for a period of 2 or 3 weeks while we finalize the recruitment, since evaluations are due and we have a number of other things that are taking place that are time sensitive.
Is it possible for us to change this right now as a 90-day rather than all the way until September, or would it have to default until our next meeting?
Yes, the commissioners can make a motion to amend the item.
Okay.
I would just say, in the motion, if we just make the amendment to the motion to make it say 45 days instead of 90, I understand now why. It's just for standard operating procedure, but if that makes you more comfortable, is that acceptable? We just say 45 days, or I'm sorry, let's say 60 days. That keeps it on the normal numbers. So instead of 90 days, it is revised to state 60 days. Does that allow everyone to complete within a 60-day period? And that way Janine's issue is also resolved.
Why are we changing it from the standard 90?
Yeah, I think the standard 90, Jeff, because right now I think they're looking at 6 months.
I'm shortening it. I'm trying to shorten it is what I'm trying to do.
I think 90 would be fine.
I think 90 is fine.
Is 90 fine? Are you comfortable with that, Janine?
It's fine with me. The current one that they have is 6 months. So that's
right. So but you're saying that my point was they seem to be so quickly, but if we just want to say 90 days, is that okay?
Just stay with standard practice would be my suggestion.
Right. And we'll just revise it to 90. And that's fine. If that's okay, staff, are you comfortable with that as well?
That's fine, yes. I mean, if Ms. Gutierrez Gonzalez, Gutierrez Sandoval is okay with that, and like she mentioned, we are hopeful that we'll be able to wrap up the recruitment soon, given that the eligibility list is being approved or on this agenda.
Right.
I think I was just trying to accelerate even more, but 90 days, then the motion will reflect the change to state 90 days.
Do we need a formal motion, Jeff?
I'm just revising the motion. I think as long as the maker of the motion and the second of the motion is fine with that, I think we're fine.
Okay.
Both of you seem comfortable with the 90 days inserted in there. So the motion will reflect that change. All right, very good. Other questions or comments at this time? Hearing none. Roll call. Janine.
Aye.
Robin.
Aye.
I am aye. O passes. We're now to P, approved classification study, recommendations, classifications, specifications. This is a second reading. This has to do with the classified employment, local 6108 and management team. This will require a vote. So first, I entertain a motion to approve, please.
I'll make the motion.
I'll
First by
second.
Robin, second by Janine. Staff, would you like to make a comment, any report at this time on this item?
No reports at this time.
Members of the commission, questions, comments on this? This is sort of an ongoing, which we've had in the past. I've looked at it. Does anyone have any questions or comments on it at this time?
I have a question probably for Kristen and maybe for Robert. So I typically look at specific positions that I'm very familiar with. I worked at the college in a classified position for 10 years. I go to that one first, and then I go to other ones that I'm just familiar with. So what has happened is that we have changed the requirements significantly on some positions. So just as an example, a position that I held had a requirement of a BA and recommended master's, and now it is at an AA. And the reason I ask this is because philosophically, we can have different viewpoints on how requirements are recommended. And it can be a problem when we are picking someone with more background than is required for the position. So I just would like to know how things get changed that significantly to go from a BA and recommended master's down to an AA. Kristen, does that all make sense to you? And do you have any ideas on this? And
Yes, thank you.
The question, how it happened, or why it happened, Janine?
Well, but how it also influences when we're approving people, when they're coming with significantly more background than the job requires, and then we're feeling uncomfortable about hiring far above the level of the position, when in fact, some of these positions had far higher requirements in the past, and now that's not being reflected. But I understand the philosophy of just getting people in there who have the background, whether or not they have, specifics, but they still have a general background. And I'm just trying to figure out, I'm trying to weigh those things, if that makes sense to you. And Robert, you might have opinions on this as well.
Yes.
Kristen, do you have some comments on that?
Yes, thank you. So one of the issues that we contend with now is we need to make sure that all minimum qualifications and all classifications with regard to the minimum qualifications specifically do not exceed the requirements of the job that an individual would need basically day one on the job. And this is something that was decided by the Supreme Court in Griggs v. Duke Power, where in the very famous case with the custodian positions that were requiring the very high education. And with that landmark decision, this became kind of the law of the entire nation. So we need to make sure that our minimum qualifications are not anything other than what one would need day one. And then the thought is individuals, whatever isn't needed day one can be trained on the job, and individuals would be able to kind of gain that skill set. This decision and this way of kind of forming public sector job descriptions also kind of creates the other scenario that the commissioners are concerned about, where we do see individuals with really high backgrounds of experience and education applying for jobs. And that's because legally, we're precluded from doing anything but making sure that minimum qualifications are at basically the lowest possible level they can be for someone to be, functional in a position on day one. That said, we do have the ability to, for positions where it makes sense, to create desirable qualifications, which of course are different than the minimum qualifications. And that's something that can go on job descriptions and can be part of the screening test too at a second level, not at, the first level, the initial kind of minimum qualification screening. but that can be a way that additional kind of experience or education that's relevant to the position can be considered. In addition to that, why positions potentially can also change minimum qualifications over time is over time when studies don't happen for a while, which is what we're experiencing here at LBCC, and there's a variety of kind of discussions and conversations that we've been engaging with in the union as to how to avoid this moving forward. For example, a staggered year approach to a classification scheme and updating the scheme, something like, because we have a lot of classifications here, probably something on a 5-year cycle would make sense. But what happens when we don't have that ongoing attention to particular job families and areas within a district is classifications kind of get added on top of classifications over time, and the minimum qualification scheme gets completely disrupted and doesn't make sense anymore. So this is a way of taking all the classifications that currently exist and need to continue to exist and restructuring the job duties and minimum qualifications in comparison to what individuals, what incumbents are doing on the job currently.
It's great information. Thank you so much, Kristen. It really clears up a lot.
Of course.
Yeah, that is the goal of what we're trying to do, simplify some things. So very good. Other questions, comments? Robert, did you have something?
Yeah, I do. The last one on this list baffles me because I could have sworn that Vice President Drinkwine clearly said that deputy director in that area no longer exists. So am I reading this wrong? Is it a deputy director or a manager?
Which title?
Very
Which title,
last one on the list, Deputy Director of Financial Rental Manager, Facilities, Service and Grounds. So my understanding is part of their reorg and facilities, I could be wrong, that she made public comment that they no longer are hiring a deputy director. So I don't, not that I'm against them doing it. It's just I'm getting mixed signals. So the reclass says one thing and the area VP says another. So I'm kind of confused on that one. All the rest of these are quite frankly in Dean Gutierrez's area. And from what I recognize, they're trying to clean up like Assistant Vice President Olson said, and trying to reorganize an area that's way needed that for a while. And everything I recognize here seems to be that they're organizing them by education and years of service from the lower end up, trying to move it into a more of a correct ladder format than it has been recently. That's all I really wanted to say.
Does anyone have, and it's only I'm trying to go through my memory of the deputy position. I thought we dealt with that.
This, if I may add for this one, the plan for this is to do away with the deputy director position and the propose a new title for it, which would be manager, facility services and grounds.
Oh, I get it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The way my screen doesn't show the other part. Okay.
I was trying to pull that up. Okay, thanks, Cynthia.
Yeah, sorry about that. I wasn't sure what it was saying the way it was printed. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Other questions, comments this time? Hearing none, we're going to do roll call on item P. Janine?
Aye.
Robin?
Aye.
Aye. And again, thanks everyone. The slow, tedious process of getting these done. We're slowly getting there. And it's been a major lift. So congratulations. Moving forward. We're now to information items, though. These are all going to be first reading, so no action, just for the record. Item A, review the existing classification and salary. This is for manager, facility services and grounds, first reading. B, receive and file classification study recommendations and classification specifications, first reading. Again, this is for Long Beach classified employees, AFT, local 6108, and management team. Again, first reading, no vote required. Information item C, next meeting will be Monday, March 7th at 5 p.m. via Zoom. So we're to closing comments. Comments from staff, item A. Any comments from staff at this time?
For item A, we're asking for the proposal salary for the manager of facility services and grounds for first reading. And we are proposing a range 9 based on internal alignment of the other classifications within the managerial series.
Any other comments from staff this time? Comments from the commissioners?
Chair?
Yes.
President Chair, yes. I actually have a comment. At this time, I would like to introduce an individual, a guest who has been so kind to join us, Philip Gordillo. He is currently the Executive Director of CSPCA, and he was so kind to hop on the meeting today and give the commissioners an opportunity to talk with him and understand his background with regard to running commission offices.
Very good. Is he on screen somewhere that I'm missing?
He is on screen. Hi, Philip.
Hi there.
You go by Phil or
Bar?
I go by Philip. I go by
Okay.
Philip. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And
So commissioners,
did you
so
replace
nice.
George?
Yes. Oh, good. So you have a starting point. So that helps. Yes. I replaced George in March of 2019. He retired from the organization.
Right.
And I had retired in 2018. So I was available and I went through the process. And yeah, so, and of course, unfortunately on March 1st, when I got the job, 9 days later, COVID hit. And so I was in the middle of doing the Merit Academy and I had to readjust everything and really didn't know what to do. But I had a group of volunteers that were willing to stick in there with me and help me out. And so we are about to launch the Merit Academy again this March. And we're doing total virtual, which we never thought we could do, but we're doing that. But thank you for asking. But yes, and George as well. I speak with George several times a week just to keep him he loves to keep in the know of what's going on in the association with the districts. But as Kristen said, I'll introduce myself and give you a little bit about my background. I am a 41-year school employee. For those 41 years, I was a classified employee for that entire time. I worked in an elementary school district for, 17 years. I then went on to the community college district for about a year. Both positions were in HR. I then moved on to the Santa Clara County Office of Education in San Jose, where I became the director of the Personnel Commission. I sat in that role for 16 years. My last 8 years in my career, I was the Chief Human Resources Officer. So I was not a dual hatter. I was a division head. Personnel Commission was part of my division. I did not supervise the director, the commission did, but the directors that have followed me have sought my guidance and support and assistance because they know that was my baby for 16 years. So I have if I had a favorite job, I would tell you director of the Personnel Commission was my favorite job. I love that work. I've always said I'm a 41-year employee, and I always say I'm a 41-year classified employee above everything else. So since I retired in December of 2018, like I said, I became the executive director for CSPCA. I've also done interim assignments for San Mateo County Office of Education, Berkeley Unified School District, Monterey County Office of Education. And now I'm listening in on the Long Beach Community College District for the very first time. So I live in San Jose. I'm a caregiver to my mother. And so that's my background. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to entertain those. But nice to see and meet you all.
Thank you, Philip. Did you say you work for a community college district? I mean, if you're up there, did you work for San Jose Evergreen Community College
I worked for Foothill De Anza Community College District in Los Altos Hills.
Not a bad district, also known as Stanford feeder schools.
Yes.
They have a tremendous reputation. Also, that's where, was it Microsoft or Apple? Who had the magical building up there on one of their campuses? Or is that?
Apple has the building in Cupertino. Yes.
Okay, that's the one that had all the mystery surrounding it. And,
Yes, that's the circle.
I've actually been on that campus. That's why.
It's probably the only campus that you could get lost in, and then you find the place you were going to go to if you go in a circle.
True. Beautiful campus, though.
Yes.
Campus, so. No, thank you very much for that brief introduction. Commissioners, do you have any comments at this time?
Thank you for joining us, Philip, and we appreciate hearing your background.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Philip. It's been a pleasure listening to your background. I love the fact that you said that your favorite position was working with the commissioners.
Yeah, it really was. When you worked at the commission, the employees love you. You get to promote them. You get to, hire them. If you reclassify them, they're really happy. I can't say everybody was happy, but in the end, it's always good work. When you go to HR, to the HR side, it's negotiations, it's discipline, it's investigations, it's all this whole other piece that I had to kind of learn on the cuff. But I did. I stayed there for 8 years as that role. It was a good job.
And Kristen did backfill you on the information of our process with our whole reclassification study.
I've been looking at your documents, and she has surprised me of the projects that are going on. Yes.
Yeah. It was quite a long period of time for the reclassification. It was for Long Beach. So.
Yeah, I was engaged in reclassification or classification studies at the county office. We did them in segments by family. And so it took me almost 8 years to complete all of them. But we did complete them. We hit hurdles. We worked with unions to work past those hurdles. And I was successful in supporting a plan to the commission and the superintendent to implement every study. In the end, we implemented every study. It took us a while for some to get there, but it's hard to do a study and not implement it. You're asking the employees to engage themselves in a process. And so they have an expectation, and I think we have an expectation to try to make it work. So sometimes it takes a little longer, but we get it done.
Yeah, very good. I know the commissioners, we talked about trying to, in the future, on the whole reclassification process, to break it down into smaller, manageable components. And in other words, not just have it all at once hit us, but try to spread it out over a period of time to give people a little bit it's just more of a reasonable approach to it. And I think that's something we'll look at more seriously in this upcoming year. So I don't know who's beeping. It's not me.
It's my oven. My French fries are done. I was trying to tell my niece.
Philip, I thought it was my oven. And I kept talking.
I thought it was Robin.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to care for my niece's dinner as well. I put French fries in the oven and the Orvitas are ready. So
we're going to move.
Okay, it's okay. I'm so glad it was you.
Yeah, well, these are the advantages of Zoom meetings, I guess. So thank you, Philip. Are any other comments, questions for him at this time? If not, we're going to move forward then.
Welcome.
Welcome.
I think Robert wants to say something, Jeff.
Robert?
Yeah, I'd like to also, for the classified professionals, welcome Philip to the team. Looking forward to working with you. Best of luck with our 6-year plan to end this one. So if we can get done before 8 years, I'm thinking everybody will be thrilled.
Well, I would love to leave that mark behind, sir. So thank you so much for the welcome meeting. Yes, I look forward to working with you too.
Thank you.
It's amazing the patience of our classified employees over this process. So very good. All right, then we can move on then. I'm at the comments from the staff. Are there any comments from staff at this time? If not, I'll move to the comments from the commissioners. Janine?
Happy almost March.
All right. Robin, how's dinner?
Dinner's fine. Thank you.
All right, I have no comments at this time. Appreciate everyone working together on this. Public comments, Dina, on non-agenda items. Do we have anyone wishing to speak on non-agenda items before the Personnel Commission at this time?
Actually, I have a couple questions.
Robert, go ahead.
Piggybacking on what Philip said and how they lumped all the things together at the end of the time. I was unclear of Cynthia's point of why they put a range involved with the management team. I want to make it clear, none of the reclasses can pick any position and change it until they're all accepted, especially management positions. Right, Kristen? Because I just can't have the uproar that would bring after what would happen in the past. So, I mean,
Exactly.
for our own safety, and I mean that not in a threatening way, but in a people being uproared and upset, we can't put management above classified a second time. So I just didn't understand why the range was an issue and why none of the other positions listed range, because I thought we were keeping those in the blank for a reason until we got to the next step. So that part kind of confused me. So I'll let you deal with that. But otherwise, I'm good with everything. Thank you.
Commission Chairperson, would it be okay to provide some information around that?
Go ahead. Sure, please, Kristen.
Yes, Robert, you captured the kind of rollout plan exactly right. The implementation will occur, at once, and no one's, getting implemented beforehand. For vacant positions where there's no incumbent whatsoever, and there's also a need to recruit, that's when a range is attached. It's not necessarily the final range that will be the outcome of the, end of the classification study and the end of the compensation study, but it is a range for the recruitment purpose so that we can get someone in a particular vacant position. That's the only instance it happens in.
Okay. I just have to make sure because, there's just a lot of bad blood with that PAC, and I can't let that happen again.
Totally understand. And that's the only scenario it happens in.
Okay, as long as the commissioners have more knowledge than me are okay with that, I'm okay with it.
I'm sorry, I do have to apologize. I think when you asked for comments from staff, I thought we were on 3A and I think you meant 4A. So I thought you were asking me to comment on 3A. That's the reason I was providing a little bit more information.
Okay. No.
Under comments from staff.
No, we're on, now you're right, on 4A, we'll be on that. Just again and I know my fellow commissioners have heard me say this many times, but to Robert's point, that whole with the management team, his comments, it did not sit well. And it was really a very poor, and I take full responsibility for the decision made at that time with the board of trustee, as a board of trustee member. That was a mistake. And it really set in precedent a lot of bad blood, and rightfully so. And I just have never forgotten that. And a lot of those people are no longer at the college, but you can see the scars are still there. And it was one of the times where I really wish I could have gone back, and the assurances I wanted to have were I was promised, but promises are just that. And so anyway, I'm just essentially really trying to just support and emphasize what Robert said. Don't make that mistake again.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. When this message comes up, you're always straight. You're always straightforward. And I appreciate you for that. You don't color it. You call it just as it's seen, as the truth. And I respect that. Thank you.
Thank you. I was going to say it's one of the only few mistakes I've made, but but we won't talk about the other ones right now. But this one keeps coming up because I'm dealing with it right now.
Right.
Why I just want to see this done correctly, and just remind people about how not to do things. Don't do what I did with my fellow trustees at that time. But none of there anymore. But anyway. So we have no other public comments on non-agenda items. So we are now going to recess into a closed session. This is just on a personnel item. I don't expect anything to come out at all, but we will go into a closed session with the personnel commissioners, and I don't know who else is joining us. Kristen, Cynthia? Okay, just Kristen. Okay, very good. And the item is, just so for the record, the closed session, public employee employment pursuant to Government Code Section 54957, public employee employment, executive director, classified human resources. So I will then turn over to whoever needs to tell us what to do to go into closed session. We will come out of closed session, reconvene, call to order, and report if any items coming out of the closed session, then we will adjourn at that time. So this time, my hands are free. What do we do to go to a closed session?
Take us away.
I'm setting it up right now. And so let's see. Robert,
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Take care. Have a great evening. I'll leave now. so you can
Recording
go to-
stopped.
Thank you.
Night.
Night.
Recording in progress.
All right.
I think we're in a breakout room, are we?
So we have, I'm assuming, do we have in the breakout room, who do we have? We have Robin.
Girl, we need to be in a breakout room.
Yeah, let's see. Assign.
I think it is just the three commissioners and Kristen.
And we do in the main session, or do we log off?
No, I'll join you guys, I believe. Dina, so I just sent Dina. Jeff, I'll assign you now. Kristen.
Well, I have the one about to join a closed session, so I'm about ready
Yes,
to join.
go ahead and join that. Gordon.
Arturo, I'm not joining the closed session.
No? Okay,
No.
you okay.
I'll just stay here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so I'm going to report out on the closed session agenda item, and there's the following. Personnel Commission has approved by a 3-0 vote to approve Philip Gordillo. It's an inside joke, don't worry. For the interim executive director of the Long Beach City College Personnel Commission. That is the report out for the closed session. Gina, do you want me to repeat and box that again? Personnel Commission is approved by a 3-0 vote to approve Philip Gordillo for interim executive director of the Long Beach City College Personnel Commission. That is report out at the time. There's no other business before the Personnel Commission. Then without objection, our meeting will be adjourned. Thank you all so much for all your help again.
Philip.
And we'll
We're
see
glad
you.
to have you.
Very
Yeah.
glad to have you, Philip, and very, very happy that you're still with us, Cynthia.
Oh,
Yes.
Thank you. And welcome, Philip.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Philip.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Gina.
Dina, for doing everything. Thanks, Cynthia. And everyone, we'll see everyone next week.
Next Monday.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
Arturo, good job.
Everyone
Thank
have
you.
a great
Thank you. Have a-
dinner at Robbins in 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Recording stopped.